What's up, family? Welcome to your weekly reading. I am La Santera, bringing you your reading for April 13th through the 19th, 2020. We are in over a month of being in isolation and quarantine in our respective homes and spaces and countries. Many of us are really, really struggling. Many of us have been sick or know someone who has been sick. Many of us have lost people that we love deeply. We know of a person, right? Of a friend of a friend of a friend or a relative. Today, a friend of mine posted that they know 10 people who have lost loved ones in a matter of a couple of weeks. And so we're in a collective mourning right now. We're in a collective grief right now, and I pulled our cards today. This is Tuesday the 14th. I pulled cards and I did a reading yesterday, but I wanted to come back and repost and re-record the messages for the week because I was feeling that maybe I wasn't completely clear. There was a little bit of noise. I was doing the reading in the hammock because when I tell you I was exhausted, I was exhausted. I was mentally and emotionally exhausted, but wanted the energy of pulling cards on the day that I promised to, right? And so here we are with our reading. This is take 2 of this week's reading. And our cards are the lily, the ring, and the black fox. This is an oracle deck that I'm pulling from. It's called the Afro Goddess Oracle. The artist is amazing, amazing, amazing. Let's see the messages, right? The lily, the ring, the black fox. Let us breathe. So the message that I'm opening with is for Monday and Tuesday. And the lily represents sensuality, sex, morality, virtue, and wisdom. As we open this week, we are being called to tend to our sensual nature, our sexual nature. The message that I did record yesterday, which is available, you can hear it in its raw form. The message is around connecting to your lover, to your person, to your partner, to yourself in a sensual way, right? This connection, this sensual and sexual connection. And so we're being called to touch ourselves, right? I talked about that, and I know that sounds funny, right, to some people, or maybe even a little bit uncomfortable. This idea of touching ourselves and bringing ourselves pleasure, right? This idea of sexual like liberation, and I'm thinking right now just women and sexuality, women and pleasure, or anyone, right? Anyone who struggles with allowing themselves to really be in the fullness of a loving and sexual expression that requires trust, right? This exchange, this sensual and sexual exchange that happens when two people I believe, become one in an act, right, of like love making. This is a grown up podcast, so we can call things what they are, right? What I have come to understand about, sexuality, sensuality, and love making is that there's an exchange. There's an exchange of energy that is being shared. And so the message here is how are we taking care of those we love, and how are we taking care of ourselves? That's a very important message for all of us this week as we begin this week. How are we touching ourselves? How are we loving on ourselves? Like even in the way we bathe, or even in the way we bring ourselves pleasure, or even in the whatever that means to you. Like this self-care, we're bringing it to another level. What is that sensual self-care, that sexual self-care? Self-care and other care, right? Our others. Um, the morality, virtue, and wisdom messages, um, that those words can be triggering, right? This idea of morals, right? I feel automatically what rises for me is like the idea of shame, shame, shaming people, right? So much shame around um, sex and sensuality and sexuality and sexual orientation and gender and all of these things, right? This idea of virtue, the virtuous woman. We have to be very careful with language and our expectations of others, right? We have to be careful with others in general too, just like now not allowing them to project their ideas of virtue and and morals. Like we are not here to live according to someone else's code. When we have been born with our own codes, with our own messages, with our own guides, with our own spirits, with our own guardian angels, who truly are the only ones who get to tell us and commune with us and guide us. And really, they're not telling us anything, they're guiding us. They're offering us suggestions, and we're deciding whether or not we are listening to what they have to say, right? So this week you are being called to trust your intuition and your wisdom, your inner wisdom, right? Cool. Um, that was for Monday and Tuesday. Now, for Wednesday and Thursday, our message is the ring. And the ring is about commitment, partnership, cooperation, and cycles. My stomach just did a little bit of a flip. I'm going to start with the cycles. Right now, we are living the cycles of life, death, and rebirth, right? We are being inundated um, by news of people passing, people dying, people losing people. At the same time, we are hearing people giving birth. People are in hospitals giving birth, you know? And so right now, we're being called to find ways to honor the cycles of life and death. And the death of a loved one is devastating, devastating for many of us. And so, how can we honor the loss, the tremendous loss, the collective loss that we're experiencing right now, and honor those who have gone? How can we take this loss? How can we honor this cycle while staying healthy and not falling into deep depressions or giving up hope or surrendering our faith, right? And so for Wednesday and Thursday, let's look at this idea of the ring. our commitment and our vows to ourselves, to our practice, to our spirit guides, to our guardian angels, to our Agun, to the Orisha, to our Loaz, to the Creator, to Olofi, Olorun, Olodumare, whatever you believe in, the force, source, the universe, crystals, whatever you believe in. We were born with a technology. We were born um, with a, I don't want to say legacy, because I believe that we, in many ways, we are the legacy. But we were born with a program, the plan, with a life plan, right? For those of us who are in the religion, in Regla de Ocha, Lukumi, Yoruba tradition, when we are born in our religion, are given this like life path. Much like when you go, you see an astrologer and they'll give you, they'll give you a plan, what they see, right? What spirits are saying. When you receive, your ita, you're given special guidance and messages from each orisha, right? And so we're born with this thing. We're born with this plan for our lives, and we either stay on that path and move toward it, or completely disobey everything that we are meant to be, and not live fully, not live in that full expression of who we are. Who we were always born to be, right? And so the ring, while it symbolizes marriage and commitment and all of those beautiful things, right? Um, this is the vow that you have made to the Creator about what you are meant to do here on earth. Are you keeping your commitment? Are you honoring your vows? Are you honoring your promises? Are you living in integrity? Are you moving in grace? Are you honoring your ancestors? Things to think about this week. How can you be more in integrity, more in alignment with what you are here to do and what your ancestors have been asking of you? And then we close the week with the black fox. The black fox. Caution, trickery, cunning, selfishness. Oh, be careful with people and their intentions. And some people are not what they say they are. Pay attention to their actions. Pay less attention to what people are saying and more attention to how they are living, how they are moving, how they impact and touch and serve others. Are they trustworthy? Are they someone who moves with integrity and honor? Are they kind? Here we're being called to tend to our home this week, to protect our own this week, our family. This idea of the fox, survival of the fittest. I did, in my delirium and in recording messages yesterday, I'm recalling saying that we are living in a time where I'm really concerned about poverty and desperation. Like, what comes the aftermath of, a pandemic and scarcity, right? Scarcity and not having enough, and not having enough money, not having enough food, and what rises with that, what the fear-based responses to feeling like you don't have enough, feeling that you are not enough, feeling like you're not smart enough, talented enough. And so let's be careful. Let's be careful how we move, and to not hoard, and keep to ourselves. Like, if there were ever a moment to be, I don't want to say decent, but I'm feeling like a decent human being, a giving human, someone who is we centered, we, the collective us, we are a human family, right? We're being called to do more of that in any way that we can. I was watching a beautiful IG story yesterday where this man and this woman, or this woman, was buying groceries for people in Dykeman. And there were people who were incredibly touched, but they said, buy someone else food, because we don't need it. We have the money to buy our own groceries. Thank you. Give it to someone in need. Right now, people are in need. So if you have to give anyone, bless them. If you have $20 to send a single mother or a single father, just kind of randomly out of the blue, do it. I'm so grateful because I have been blessed by a community of people who send me, it could be $7, it could be $100. And so let's try to give in ways that feel good to us, to those that need it right now. And let's be careful with those foxes, right? Because in terms of the black fox, in terms of career, it talks a lot about being around shady people and backstabbers at work. That is real. But right now, I'm hoping that you are not around that. The hope is that. The warning is be careful with like backstabbing mofos on the job, but hopefully you are working from home and you don't have to be exposed to the toxic behavior of those shady folks. Family, that is your reading for this week. Sorry that it was late. I'm sending you all a crazy amount of love and blessings, and my heart is with you. What I wish for me, I wish for you always. Please stay safe. Please tell people you love them, and I will see you all next week. You know how to find me for a reading. Peace.